Okay, and we are live. And thank you for tuning in. This is Will. I'm your host, and this is another fun-filled episode of Your Money. So, normally I would do investment strategies and teaches about where to stick your money that makes money month over month. Um, we are going to skip that today. We're going to go into Shiba Inu and why Shiba Inu. Why would you even consider Shiba Inu? And we're going to go into the disclaimer first. So, like everybody else, this is an entertainment segment, and I suggest you do your own research and development on what is best for you. So, if you think that this is a viable thing, just give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the button below. I'm not getting paid by this. I don't have enough followers. So, if you want to subscribe, be my guest. I'm looking forward to working with you, and hopefully we could do well in the future together. My number one objective is to make money month over month, usually using dividend stocks, and then the best dividend stocks that I can suggest for you to look at, as opposed to all of the dividend stocks that some of them don't have positive earnings, some of them have negative earnings. So how can they possibly pay your dividends? We can get into that. But this today is about Shiba Inu. And why Shiba Inu? Uh, so Shiba Inu is gone viral. They just started a year ago, and in 1 year, they've been able to go up, was it 5,000% since their opening last year, which is not even a year ago, which my hat goes off to them. That was phenomenal. They're getting endorsements from Elon Musk, Kevin O'Leary, which never endorses any cryptocurrency ever. He always comes back and he says, software, software, software. You need huge developers to come up with a system that works for everyone all over the world. Shiba Inu has done that. They're an Australian-based uh, crypto. Um, so if you were looking at buying into it, I suggest, if you're Canada like me, I'm a Canadian, I would suggest opening a Wealth Simple account and dabbing. Okay, I'm not suggesting you go out there and spend a lot of money into it, but do a little bit of research into it. Find out if it's a viable asset class for you. The reason why I looked at it, I'm saying anything less than a penny, guys, anything less than a penny. You can't buy nothing for a penny. Okay, so it's less than a penny. So if we get right down to it, it's 0.0003. This is Canadian, 3037. Now, I don't know about you, but for $200, you're able to buy almost 7 million Shiba Inu coins, so, or tokens. Um, and everybody says, okay, not everybody, sorry, get right down to that. People are saying that it started off as a meme coin, and it was started off as a joke. And I'm like, well, not too long ago, in 2007, three guys got together as a joke, come up with a coin. What coin was that? 2007. In 2009, the U.S. Congress shut them down and sent four of them out of the country, and one of them to prison. Okay, he got Stern. He got a boot on his foot for in-house. So uh, that formed Bitcoin. In 2009, you could have bought Bitcoin for like 25 cents to $1. That was a joke, right? Now look at it, 50,000, 40,000 US dollars. Well, Shiba Inu coin is sitting at 0.00003037 of a coin, guys, of a penny Canadian, or 0.00002426 of a coin. So if you're looking at that going, well, what's my risk tolerance? but your risk tolerance is high. Can it go up and down? Absolutely. Will it go up and down? Absolutely. But here's the thing that I really catches my eye this morning is the fact that, and I'm going to post it just in a second here. Actually, I'll post it right now. Okay. Take a good look at this, guys. This is the world debt clock. Okay, so if one country out of the 9 countries that really, really need help right now, if one of those countries sit there and say, you know something, this is worth the risk. I'm going to invest 100 million US dollars into this, and if it goes, I could make $10 trillion. Now, that's if it goes to a dollar, right? But is it worth the risk? Because it's got worldwide exposure, and they don't have to announce it because it's in Australia. It's an Australian-based company. They don't have to announce that they are buying it, so they can do it behind closed doors. And 100 million to these people, when they've already got trillions of dollars exposure, is nothing. So it's worth the risk. So it's like, I'm going to invest this, hoping that it goes to a dollar. Even if it goes to $10, I'm even happier. That's going to give me a huge rate of return on my money. So then I can pay off the debt that I've incurred through COVID-19. Do you understand this? So it becomes a race then of the 9 countries, including Russia. Ukraine is in big trouble. Greece is in big trouble. Japan, Italy, Spain, France, Canada, US. They're all in huge trouble. They're spending over and above their GDP. Now, how can they possibly get a handle on it? Well, because they're so desperate and they need a way out, this would be their way out. Now, I'm not suggesting that they're going to go in ahead and buy Shiba Inu coins. There's also other coins that are also less than a dollar, less than it's pennies on the glass. We call it pennies on the glass, meaning it's less than a penny. So they're all other options. I'm just saying that just look at it based on the assumption that they're going to have to somehow come up with a 4 trillion, 6 trillion. The US needs 7 trillion. 7 trillion, guys. $7 trillion to get out of the mess they're in. They're at $30 trillion in debt. Their GDP, gross domestic product, is sitting at 24 trillion that they make. So they only make 24 trillion and they're spending 30 trillion. When it comes to May, when their deadline comes up to pay back their debts, how are they going to announce that? The only way that they can possibly come out of this is to invest in some sort of way that's going to make them a crap load of money. Now, the only way to do that for me, if I was the country, I'd be looking at it going, we need fundamental breakdowns on how we're going to possibly do this. Because even if we do the biggest budget cuts in our history, we are still looking at not being able to pay our debts to any of the countries that we can. And they're only going to give us so much time to pay these off. Remember Greece when it was in trouble back in 2014, 2015, when it was in a crisis? Same thing's going to happen here. It's a race to the finish line. Who wants the gold, right? Who wants the gold? So the first ones that come on board, because Shiba Inu has worldwide exposure and is growing at such an alarming rate day after day, and the Shibarium is coming out. Once the Shibarium comes out, that's our blockchain. We don't need Ethereum. And besides that, Ethereum's in big, big trouble too, because there's a game that they had that got hacked, and they were taking the Ethereum out of the people's pockets and then going and cashing it in for coin, for dollars on the. So that right there, that tells you that it's unstable. Ethereum's unstable. And then with the Shibarium coming out, if they can prove that they're one step ahead of Ethereum, I'm afraid will take a backdoor to Shiba Inu. And with that in mind, I would keep this coming in, and then we can learn from it. I didn't give you charts today, guys. You want charts, you want breakdowns of. To me, it makes 0 sense to do a breakdown of the coin because it's pennies. You're literally buying it for nothing. So one one person, 50,000, make it a big change really fast. But only the people who can afford to lose a 50,000 are the ones going to take that risk. So when they do 5 billion coins transactions per day, and we do burn rates that are ridiculous. We just did a burn rate yesterday of 917 trillion, or no, yeah, 917 billion, 917 billion tokens were burnt yesterday between 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. Like, that's a massive undertaking. That's almost a trillion coins in one single day. So if we were able to do that every single day, we would make a huge impact in the amount of tokens outstanding. Therefore, it would impact the amount of rate that you would be buying it at. It's too convenient to look at it and say, it's very risky. I wouldn't take that risk. If you took your $200 or your $100 and invested it, you got your 3 million tokens, you look at it and say, put it in and forget it, right? Just put it in and forget it. And in 5 or 6 months, look back and say, wow, that was a good investment, or that was a really crappy investment, but you're only out $100. Even if you did it with $50, even 25 would get you something. And you don't, with Wealthsimple, it's very cost effective, right? So you got to look at it and wager it. It's based on percentages. So the less you put in, the less you have to spend to get out. So with that being said, and everything that's going on, I want you to pay close attention to the worldwide debt clock. Please, like I said, there are so many countries out there that are in deep, 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 deep trouble and very, very desperate. So that's a good combination for Shiba Inu. Very good combination. Will that mean that it's going to get dollars for value? We don't know. And I don't know. And I can't predict the future, but I'm saying that the risk is worth the reward. So even for the countries are looking at going, well, I only have to invest for $100 million to get 10 trillion. It goes to a dollar, I got $10 trillion. I can put that towards my deficit. Okay. But they'd have to talk to the Australian made government to do it, to get them that, so they could sell that for that price. It would probably have to go to $2 to $3 for them to be able to start liquidating it. And then they have to go talk to the Australian um, company, Shiba Inu, to get that money back. But either way, it would mean big dollars for us, huge amounts of money for us. So if you don't think it's valuable and you think that this isn't something that you would be looking at, please leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to look at it, and then we can do an analysis together. Or you can tell me your perspectives and what you think is the future for Shiba Inu. But I'm saying that because the risk is worth the reward, even for the countries taking that risk, and their risk is only $100 million. And yes, it's $100 million goes towards their deficit if they don't spend it. But they're in such a combined state of affairs, they have to take risks. They have to take um, on those conjoining factors in order to alleviate the pain that they've caused themselves by this COVID-19 pandemic that has caused them to overspend on the amount of money. Joe Biden has opened his pocketbook and started writing checks that he can't cash. And that's a fact. So with no further ado, and I have no more information than what I've already suggested. I can talk about McDonald's, but I don't know for sure. All this is on YouTube, right? So McDonald's and the billionaires, uh, you know that the metaverse, I didn't want to get into the metaverse too much because it was one of the negative things about Shiba Inu, because of Mark Zuckerberg, uh, the founder of Facebook, also came out with the metaverse, and then he put out an exposure list on things that are bad with the metaverse. So the bad thing about the metaverse is bringing everybody up to speed worldwide on the technology base that they need. So you need your 3D glasses, which aren't cheap, 300 to 400 bucks Canadian. Okay, and then you need a black screen or a white screen that's got um, that's a grid, and those are $10,000. You can buy them. You can get them from the school now. probably for discount, but like every household would need one. So I don't know where that fits in. Now I heard through the grapevine that they are coming out with a crypto island that's real, and that you can visit it through the metaverse. Now, so if you're buying land plots through the metaverse, that's an actual place that you can set up through the metaverse so that you're able to go through it 3D dimensioning, 3D plot planning, and building. That would be huge. And that would be one way of staking your claim on an island that's strictly for cryptocurrency. So the Shiba Inu metaverse or universe could be a viable asset class, and therefore it would be like to buy. So you're able to buy it in before it goes viral. So then that would be one big positive on that. And it could drive up, it would probably drive up. And with the Shinobi burn on that too, because every time you buy a land plot, you get a certain percentage of it goes to the Shiba burn. So then it would even drive the coin up even more value. The more transactions we do, the more they burn with the with the Shidoshi and the Shiba Inu coin. So very positive signs of what's ahead, guys. Um, doesn't mean that it's concrete that you're going to make money on this. There's no absolute concrete. And with high risk, this is extreme risk, right? Because it's under a penny. Anything under a penny is totally speculation. Now, I want you to think about that very carefully. Totally speculative. So, what you're willing to lose, what you can afford to walk away with that you don't need tomorrow, that is what you invest with. Otherwise, stay away from it and buy more concrete stocks. And the ones I suggest are on my channel, okay? Like btb.un, Oxford, um, uh, IFL, okay? Because they give you dividends with huge rewards. They're not huge rewards, they're monthly paychecks, guys. So you get a monthly paycheck just for holding their shares. And if you do the drip, because you don't need the money right now, you do the drip, you can get more money in your pocket. Now, with this, okay, with the Shiba Inu, you buy it, you hold it. If it explodes, you can sink it into something concrete that's going to make you a monthly dividend. You don't have to. You can sit back and enjoy your life, making $5,000 or $6,000 a month. Perfect, right? That's what we're all focusing on. Whatever your paycheck is now that you're living off of, that's what you can live off in the future. But you remember that you need inflationary. So right now the inflation is so freaking high that it doesn't matter what you do. You're not going to get right now. There's in where I'm from, they've put in restrictions on it from corporations, and they ain't paying you anymore. And they're putting a freeze on everything. So because we're getting people from Afghan, we're getting people from Poland, and now we're getting people from Ukraine coming in droves. They got to find jobs for those people, and the companies know they don't have to pay anymore. Even though inflation's gone through the roof, it's like it's not our fault, but we have a surplus of people and not enough work. So guess what? Companies look at it and go, got to keep up with the competition. Got to see where it's going to mask it. What we're going to do about it. On that note, we're going to call it a day. And please use your due diligence and go out there and find out for yourselves if this is viable or not for you. This is Will, your host. I'm signing off, and thank you for tuning in and staying with me. I look forward to doing work with you guys in the future. I'm hoping that we can all get along and love one another and appreciate what it's like to be in the front seat rather than the back seat. On that note, take care, and we'll see you later. Have a great day.